inshallah, we'll talk about
Right here, right now. No, I'm
Jannah.
not going to ask you again. Stand up.
Is this a good subject?
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go to Jannah? Raise your hand.
I don't have time for you. Get up right now, quickly. I'm giving you 3 seconds.
What about
1,
Jahannam? Who wants to go to Jahannam?
2.
You want to go to Jannah?
Okay, everyone wants to go to Jannah.
No.
So today, inshallah, I'm going to talk to you about why Jannah is a good place, right? One of the scholars was asked about what is the best thing about Jannah? What is the best thing about Jannah? فَقَالَ فِيهَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. He said Muhammad ﷺ is there. And this is enough, right? So this is enough of a reason. So now, when you read about the Prophet ﷺ's biography, or if you're fortunate enough to go to Mecca and Medina for Hajj or for Umrah, and you visit the Prophet's masjid in Medina, and when you stand in front of his room, and it says here, you can give salam to the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr is here, Umar is here, you know, all these emotions and all these stories come and you are overwhelmed. So now imagine when you are in Jannah and you're standing in front of the Prophet ﷺ and he's shaking your hand and he's asking you what's your name and you tell him my name is Hussein or Fatima, and, you know. It's a good thing, right? Also when you walk in Medina, like you go to Uhud, alhamdulillah, I've been there before, I've seen the mountain and I've been to Medina and the other places, Quba, and you know for sure that 1450 years ago, the Prophet ﷺ was walking in these streets. And again, you are overwhelmed with these emotions. Now when you go to Jannah, every time you want to see him, you'll be able to see him. And you'll be able to see the Sahaba, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Abdullah, Mas'ud, all these great names. You'll see Khadija, Zainab, Fatima, all the great personalities. You'll be able to see Yusuf alayhi salam. We read about him in the Quran, Surah Yusuf. You read about Ibrahim, you read about Musa and Isa, you will be able to see them face to face. Isn't that something beautiful? Yes. Okay, the other thing is, in Jannah, no one gets sick. It's a good thing. You don't have to worry about flu shots. You don't have to worry about insulin shots. You don't have to worry about going for surgeries.
No diabetes?
No diabetes, nothing.
No C-section?
And the most important thing, at least for me, no taxes. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Also in Jannah, no jealousy, no hatred, no envy. Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the people of Jannah, He says when they will be sitting on their thrones, they will be facing each other, face to face, mutaqabilin. Why? They say because in dunya, when you hate someone, when you don't like someone, what do? When you see them coming this way, you give them your back. But in Jannah, no jealousy, no hatred in your heart for anyone. So this is why people will be facing each other, right? The other thing about Jannah, or Akhirah in general, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the day of judgment, He says, in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. It will put everyone in their place. Because here in dunya, some of the liars, some of the corrupt people, they make it to the top. And some good people, scholars and innocent people and good people, righteous people, they end up in jail, or they have a hard time, problems, and so on and so forth. But in Akhirah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give everyone justice, right? The situation in dunya, when you see some of those bad people up there, not all politicians or business people, but some, I'm not saying everyone, right? So the situation in dunya, when you look at the sea or the ocean, you know the pearls, the lu'lu', where are they? At the top or the bottom? Bottom. What about junk? The top or the bottom? Top. The straws, all the plastic bottles, dead animals, they float on the top. But the pearls and the gold, if there's a sunken ship, there's a treasure, they always land at the bottom. And this is a situation for a lot of good people in this dunya. They are down to earth. Some bad people, they make it to the top. Some of them get elected to office, and they end up building a wall, no, he does like this, does like this. Build a wall. This is how he speaks. So this is another thing about Jannah. Also, it doesn't get cold, no snow, and it is not hot. In Surah Insan, لا يرون فيها شمسا ولا زمهريرا. Good job. So shamsan is heat. Zamharira is freezing, below 30, below 40, below 100. You will not see any of that. It's temperate all year long. So, also the other thing about Jannah, in dunya, when you have money and a good health, you have kids, a good family, you have two concerns, every one of us, right? The good things would be taken away from you, so someone will die in the family, you will lose your money, you will lose your health, or you will die and leave everything behind. So these are the two concerns that most people have. In Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you this assurance. It's guaranteed that once you're inside, you're not getting out of Jannah, and you will never die. So the good things will be always there for you, and you will never leave, you will never die. You'll be there for eternity. Questions at the end. So, when you think about Jannah, it should give you motivation to do good things, like praying 5 times a day. I know some of you, when you are here, Dhuhr and Asr, you pray, but when you go home, Maghrib and Isha, you lose motivation. And this is what I hear from some of the parents. My kids pray in the masjid, but when they go home, they get busy, video games, homework, they don't pray, right? So this should give you motivation. Because in the end, when we go to Jannah, you see the reward and the honor you'll get, you will say, well, I wish I have done more, right? It was worth it. Fasting in Ramadan, it was worth it. This is what we'll say. So I'm going to conclude with this story. Someone who was motivated by Jannah. This is a brother. It's a true story. It happened in a Muslim country. So, just need a couple of minutes. So, this brother was a youth, and it was summertime, so he was getting ready to sleep, and his room was in the 2nd floor. He loved to read about Jannah and Jahannam. There are some books like a Tadhkirah for Qurtubi and other books. You read about Jannah, Jahannam, so you can get the motivation to go to Jannah and stay away from Jahannam. Every night before he slept, he would read a chapter about Jannah and Jahannam. The description, the reward of the believers and the suffering of the bad people. Okay. So one night, he slept. He had a good meal before he slept. He read about Jannah, Jahannam, mashallah. He had a very good meal, biryani or something. Very good meal, mashallah. Maqluba, mahshi, kosher, anything. Then he went to bed. And you know, in many cases, I'm not sure if this is scientifically true, when you eat a lot, you have dreams. At least this is what people in my village say. So he had this dream that it was Judgment Day. Sometimes when you think about something, it always comes to your mind. It's in your subconscious, but it always comes back in your dreams. Because he was reading about Jannah, Jahannam all the time, so he had a dream about Jannah and Jahannam. So what happened? So this is the dream, and he told the story. Of course, before the story, he was in the hospital with a broken leg and a broken arm. And the doctor noticed that every time someone came to visit, they tell him, oh, we feel sorry for you, Abdullah, it's so bad what happened, you know, you broke your leg, you break your neck, it's so bad. And as soon as they leave the room, they start to laugh. They crack jokes, right? So the doctor was confused, and he went to Abdullah and he said, okay, what happened? Why do people, when people come here, they feel sorry for you, but as soon as they leave, they start to laugh. What happened? He told him the story. I had a good meal. I read about Jannah, Jahannam. I went to bed in the 2nd floor of my house, and I started to dream about Jannah and Jahannam. So after judgment, I was told that I was going to Jannah. So we were in a bus, and the bus was taking us to Jannah. And the driver was on the highway to Jannah, and it says 100 miles per hour. And for some reason, because we're desperate, we want to go to Jannah, man. You know, Jannah is good. We want to go fast. So it says 100 miles per hour, and the driver was very slow. Like, he was going like 30 miles per hour. And everyone was telling him to go fast, go fast. He said, no, this is I like it this way. 500 miles to Jannah, 450 to Jannah, 400, 350, 300. Khalas, he was getting close to Jannah, and the driver was getting very slow, like driving very slow, and the people were asking him to go faster, and he didn't listen. 10 miles to Jannah. They could see Jannah from there, and all the pleasures, and all the birds, and the good things, and the water, mashallah. Then, for some reason, the driver didn't stop in front of Jannah, and he moved on. And they saw the sign that says, Jahannam, 5 miles ahead. And the sign was, the speed limit is 100 miles per hour. And the driver was going at 250 miles per hour. He was going fast. You know, he started to drive fast, and he was going very fast. 500 miles to Jahannam, 450, 400, 350, and the driver was going like crazy. He was fast, super fast. 20 miles to Jahannam, and they saw the fire and the screaming and the horrors and the smoke and all the horrible things. And the driver was going very fast, and the people were asking him to slow down, and he didn't listen. 10 miles to Jahannam. Now, it's getting very serious now, and the people were scared. What are we going to do? He's not listening to us, and the doors were locked. What will we do? And so someone said, okay, whoever has a window next to them, jump out of the bus. This is when the brother Abdullah, jumped out of the window of his house in the second floor. It's a true story. So when the doctor heard this story, he said, SubhanAllah, I feel sorry for you, brother, And he went outside, and he locked the door, and he told the nurses, come, I'm going to tell you a funny story. And he started to laugh about it. So again, Jannah should give you motivation, inshallah, to do better, inshallah, to be patient. And tomorrow, inshallah, we'll have a special guest, Brother Akbar Ali,
We're not done yet.
from Islamic Relief and the Muslim Welfare Center. Is coming to collect all the food you donated. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. And I think we also raised some money, is going to receive that. And we'll give you a talk for a few minutes. If you have questions, I can answer the questions on Wednesday, inshallah. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum.